Hello and welcome back to our blind playthrough of BioShock Remastered. So in our last session, we were here at, what's this place called? Proving Grounds, right? And we turned into a Big Daddy. So now we're in a full Big Daddy suit, it looks like. And we walked around with a little sister and helped her get through her tasks. And then she gave us a needle, which we're supposed to use against Atlas, otherwise known as Fontaine, in some sort of a fight with him. So, I think it's time to start that up. This might be our final fight. Feels final. But I didn't want to start this thing in the middle of, like, with the last 5 minutes of an episode. Just in case it's not the end. It was not impossible to build Rapture at the bottom. Alright, yeah. We are full on everything. So we should be good to do something here.
I remember when me and the crowd put you in that sub. You were no more than 2. You were my ace in the hole. But you were also the closest thing I ever had to a son. And that's why this hurts. Betrayal, kid. Life ain't strictly business.
Fontaine. No save. No save. It says game saved. Okay. Find Fontaine. Well, we found Fontaine. Fontaine's atom. We have to rip the atom out of him.
Go! Go now! Hit him with the needle!
Okay, how do we do that? Drain. Oh, okay. Alright, that doesn't hurt. It doesn't help. Okay. Okay, we got you damaged. Come on. Yeah, you don't look normal. There we go. Okay.
Catch my breath. And I'm gonna bury you and all their little eggs.
Alright.
You think I'm alone in this world? I got more than enough.
Alright, here we go. Yeah, I think so. Not heat seeking. That's not good. We want proximity. Come on. Okay. Now. You go away. Alright. Come on.
Cut you into bits.
We are running out of health. Okay. We want you again.
What are you waiting for? Hit him with the needle!
Come on. Okay. That's rough. Okay, there we go. Come on. Come on. Get out here. Yep, jump past him. Get him.
I had you built. I sent you topside. I called you back, showed you what you was capable of. Even that life you thought you had, that was something I dreamed up and had tattooed inside your head. Now, if you don't call that family, I don't know what it is. And now,
Oh! Little sisters, they swarmed him. Wait a second. Are they the ones we cured, or... Yes, those are the ones we cured. Those aren't the ones that are still, like, possessed. Okay.
They offered you this city.
Oh. Neil, yeah.
And you refused it. And what did you do instead?
Oh, did we escape?
What I've come to expect of you. You saved them. You gave them the one thing that was stolen from them.
Oh.
A chance. A chance to learn. To find love. To live. And in the end, what was your reward? You never said.
Huge hand.
But I think I know. A family.
Oh. Okay, that's a good ending. That's abrupt. That's what happens when we play blind. I didn't know we were that close. I thought maybe there'd be a final fight with a couple stages. That was pretty quick, though. Ooh. If we hadn't saved all of the little sisters, or maybe if we hadn't saved any of the little sisters, they wouldn't have been there for the end, so what would that ending have ended up like then? Probably a longer fight? A harder fight at the end, with us more powerful? I could see that. Anyway, good game. I am glad that I played this. I do now understand what people talk about when they say that BioShock is a fantastic game. Oh, I might look up a video on what happens if we don't save the sisters, because I don't really want to play the way that would see you hurting the little sisters. Yeah, I might have to look up a video on that. But, so we've now played through BioShock Remastered. At some point in the future, we still have BioShock Remastered, or BioShock 2 Remastered, and BioShock Infinite Remastered. I think that was... No, it's BioShock Infinite, the Complete Edition. So we've got those two to play through. Yeah. So we've still got a bit more to do. But those playthroughs won't start for a while. Got some other stuff to play through between now and then. I think we'll get back to some Mario pretty soon. Haven't played a mainline Mario game in a little bit. It'll also be a little bit lighter. This is pretty dark. I did not expect this game to look so good. The controls felt really good. It just took me a while to figure out what they were. Let's see. It wasn't super punishing, so that was very good. I thought it was going to be a resource hoarding game after the first couple hours, but I think we could have played with not hoarding so much of the resources. A second playthrough, I would definitely play a lot looser, probably be a lot shorter, and a lot more aggressive. I think so. Play more like a berserker. Actually, knowing that the big daddies don't just charge after you as soon as you're in the same room with them, like, that's a big deal. Okay, so BioShock. We're gonna continue this run of playing these older great games, because there's a ton of games that I've just never played. But this one definitely holds up. Holds up to the hype. I don't know what it originally looked like as far as graphics, because it is a remaster. But the graphics looked great. I like the story quite a bit. I think it's kind of weird what they did with objectivism, although the setting and the time period made it work perfect for like what they were doing here. Like, if there was a time period to be able to do something like this, that would have been about the right time period. But the objectivism thing with, like, it was kind of weird. Seems like the game is leaning a little bit into not current day politics, but just politics in general. And it just I feel like they could have done more with it or done less with it. It's not bad, it's just not satisfying. But the story is fantastic. Good story. I was very shocked with the Would You Kindly. That was a good turn. And that Atlas was Fontaine. Because Fontaine was just a name I was tracking until then, and then Atlas was like the person that we cared about. Watched his wife and child die, and turns out he made up the whole thing. Yeah, that was good. I've got big hopes for BioShock 2 being as good. I have heard people say that BioShock 2 is better than BioShock 1. So, if so, that's going to be a ride. Let's see. So this is how long we've been playing for the game? About 23 hours, maybe a little bit less than that for a playthrough. And I feel like we got everything we could. We explored every room. I don't think we left anything behind. Is there anything after the credits? Credits, director's commentary, downloadable content, options, museum. Let's take a look. Welcome to the Museum of Orphan Concepts, a guided tour of ideas that Irrational Games discarded or reworked heavily during the making of the original BioShock. Okay. I don't want to go through everything, but I would like to take a look around and see what all is included on content. Exhibit Forest concept art. Irrational's artists tried to envision how a underwater city would actually function in this early conceptual work of Rapture. One idea imagined a thick forest for the purpose of oxygen exchange, seen here with an observation catwalk running around the edge. Concept of using trees for oxygen exchange made it the final game Arcadia level. Right, I remember that. Okay. Bugs? The Gatherer. May be hard to imagine that this creature, whose job it was to reclaim Adam from corpses around Rapture, was the earliest iteration of the idea behind the Little Sister. I think the Little Sister works better. Since the Gatherer generated absolutely no sympathy from players, yeah, the team experimented with concepts for featuring a number of animals, including the infamous dog in a wheelchair. What? And later a grotesque miniature humanoid. Finally, a concept sketch of a deformed child inspired the eureka moment responsible for the Little Sisters. I think Little Sisters definitely that was a W for exchange from there. Okay, slow perfume. Irrational's internal name for this prototype Big Daddy variant, who mauled players with an enormous hook and fired iron bearings from a barrel, stood for slow projectile Yeah, Melee. He survived long enough to become fully functional AI, but the team eventually cut him to focus on polishing the other Big Daddy types. This model later appeared in BioShock 2 as the Rumbler. Oh! We're getting... Okay, this one looks like it's got fists. That's a puncher. You know what? I don't want to read too much because... Spoilers. Ah, interesting. And... Okay, artwork, models. Right. Well, you look different. Okay. I like that they put it in a museum. That's nice. Okay, mutant. Ranged aggressor. Okay. Okay, so originally their idea was like very mutated. And it kind of tamed that down. Yeah, this type of stuff looks way more like Borderlands. Much more mutated. Well, that's huge. That one looks like it's a Cobra Commander. No. I don't know. One of the Cobra guys from G.I. Joe. The guy that's all silvery. Looks like him, kind of. Okay, those just look like aliens. Yeah. Yeah, I think they went the right direction in the end. Exhibit. Hanging sea life. Not as much of a cut concept as an Easter egg for observant museum visitors. These sea creatures can be seen swimming past the player's view during the Batsphere ride down to Rapture in BioShock's opening sequence. Yeah, we saw those. I liked it quite a bit. There's an anglerfish. Giant, ugly anglerfish. Ever since Outer Wilds, I'm not a big fan of anglerfish. Okay, so from here... Can we... Okay, quit to main menu. Unsafe progress will be lost. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's the museum. What's in the director's commentary? Deeper Shooter, Community Theater, Excelsior. Let's just take a...
Hey, I'm Jeff Keighley here in Boston.
Ah, okay.
One of the biggest challenges Irrational faced when developing Rapture is filled corner to corner with...
So it looks like we missed some director's commentary reels. Looks like 3 of them. Well, I probably will do a second playthrough at some time off camera. But I think that's it for now. A little bit short, but it's a good ending. Anyway, thanks for coming, everybody. Thanks for coming and watching through the playthrough for BioShock Remastered. I guess there's not that many people who haven't played this game, so I'm glad I could share that with you. Anyway, we will see you next time in our next playthrough. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment. I love comments, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.